Hi, everyone. So I'm recording this on Halloween, and not only is it a full moon, but it is a blue moon, which means it's the second full moon in the same month. So we had a full moon on October 1st, and here we are again, not only at the end of the month on the 31st, but also on Halloween. So this practice will be about 45 minutes in length. The main theme of a full moon practice, even if you don't practice it on the full moon, is release. So we'll be working with the theme of release, deep release, layer upon layer of release, physically, energetically, emotionally, so that we can create more space to feel lightness, to invoke a sense of balance, to bring us back to baseline, to stand on both feet with an open heart and an aligned sort of mind of clarity. And we'll be working with the 5 elements, both in the practice as well as kind of a closing visualization. We will officially close the practice with, I'll give you the option of either Shavasana or legs up the wall for a deeply restorative experience, which is definitely, aligns with the theme of release and surrender and letting go, is a long Shavasana. So if you want to grab anything to support that closing phase, such as, warm fuzzy socks or a cozy blanket, an eye pillow, if you want to light a candle or incense or anything else you want to do to kind of really declare your space, you can set that up now. And I have provided a playlist. I'm actually going to be teaching along to it. And so ideally you'd be listening to the playlist from a separate device, such as like a wireless speaker, Bluetooth speaker through your phone, so that your audio is separate than this practice. But again, getting all of that set up, the playlist is actually an hour in length, and that's intentional so that when we close out with Mike guiding you at the 45-minute mark there, or maybe it might be about 50 minutes, there's a closing 10-minute track, actually called Closing. And that's intentional in case you want to stay and have an extra long relaxation. Or maybe you feel inspired at the end of this practice to come into a seated meditation and just simply just sit in stillness and be a witness to your breath and your presence and the effects of your practice in terms of moving from a place of heaviness, wherever we might be carrying that, to a place of spaciousness and lightness. Now, because we are, this is a full moon practice, so I'm going to be offering variations of moon salutations that are, again, inspired by the 5 elements. And so you'll want to orient yourself so that your mat is like you're mirroring me, so that you're laying your mat out, but then you're turning to face, so you have like the more, I guess what we call landscape horizontal, as if like in a wide stance, versus facing the short edge of your mat. You want to be facing the long edge and facing me in a way that makes sense, especially as we move through moon salutations. So again, go ahead and get that all set up for yourself at home. Thanks for joining me. I am also live twice per week from my new mountainside town in California on Sundays, live at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and that is Solar Soul Flow, so a much more energizing but fluid Vinyasa practice, building a lot of heat, but then of course a long cool down. So there is a yin portion, and then a new class now on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Western, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that's Lunar Soul Vinyasa. So that is a slow, still fluid Vinyasa, but very slow, and a lot of restorative aspects to that practice. And those are each an hour class with weekly playlists. So you can find more info about that on our website, flourishandflow.yoga. And there's a link to our live Zoom schedule right from the homepage. Okay, thank you again for joining me. Hope you're doing well, and we'll get started. If you're going to be listening to the playlist, I'll cue you here to hit play in just a moment. We're going to begin in a seated pose, and again, orienting your mat so that you are mirroring me. All right, and if you are listening along, go ahead and hit play and arrive into a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you want to support this with a blanket or a block underneath you, please feel free. We'll begin by rooting our fingertips down beside you. So you're like tenting your hands as if you could literally feel yourself like reaching into the earth floor. Your eyes can be closed or open. And we're going to invite in here length in the spine. So like shoulder heads rolling back, and you can feel that energy downward into your fingertips again, as if reaching into the earth floor. So we begin in this very grounded place, earth element. And just that awareness of your presence here and now, arriving, next 45 minutes, or if you choose to practice for a full hour, just declaring this space, any intention that you bring with that thought that our main theme of this practice is to release, deep release, layer upon layer, physical, energetic, and emotional. So now envisioning a pole down through the base of your spine into the earth, but that pole is also, there's an upward direction through heart, through forehead center, and then through the crown of the head up towards the ethers. So the heart is the midpoint of this visualized pole. And now as we bring awareness to breath and its presence in your body, I'll invite you to explore as a meditation this duality of rooting down, but the equal force of rising up, in this case, physically through heart space, length through the neck, through the crown of the head. Beginning to breathe in and out of the nose. Feeling a deep sense of ease now that you are on your mat. No other demands except to be in body and be in breath. And the power of the intention that we bring to the practice, both as your guide and as the practitioner. Begin to lengthen your breath. Allow it to feel continuous and smooth. So the rising energy is the inhale from the pit of the belly all the way up. It's like you can kind of feel yourself just growing a little bit taller to the top of your inhale. And then slowing down the exhale through the nose. Feeling a downward energetic pull into the earth. And at the bottom of your exhale, just feeling very kind of empty and light and spacious in body, in heart, in mind. Just continue 3 more rounds of breath. Breathing in from the pit of the belly all the way up through heart to that forehead center space. Exhaling, feeling that sense of release in the back body, down the shoulder blades, into your fingertips. 1 more breath. From here now, we'll reach our arms up overhead. So growing kind of tall and seated here, coming into a side stretch, bringing your right fingertips down and then just leaning into it. And then back through center. Flowing to the other side for a nice side stretch. As we come back through center, coming into eagle arms with left arm under, right arm over. Your fingertips can be long, or you can kind of fold into fists. Also option just to hold onto your shoulders if that feels more secure to you. And you can just stay here and breathe and continue to explore the duality of rising upward energy with each inhale and rooted downward energy into earth floor each exhale. Or we can start to flow here, just moving in a way, finding a rhythm that feels welcome and intuitive in your body, especially in your low back. And if you are moving through some fluid movement here through your shoulders, just visualizing like we're just rolling through and releasing any tension we might be carrying in the back body, right between the shoulder blades. Releasing the arms out wide, interlace fingers behind you. Take a chest opener here as you stretch fingertips back and lift up through chest and lift your gaze. And then releasing hands out. Again, arms up overhead, growing tall from sits bones through fingertips. Coming into your eagle arms on the other side. Again, you can stay still here. Just follow your breath, follow its movement, its rise up, and its release down. Also the option just to hold on to your shoulders. Or finding some fluid movement here from the hips, the side body, into the shoulders, into the neck. So begin to invoke the water element through this fluidity. Coming back through center. Releasing arms up and overhead, interlacing fingers. Find a chest opener here, rise and lift through your gaze. As you release your hands, we'll pause for a moment, bringing hands into a prayer position in front of you. And you can just tuck in chin to chest, or maybe bringing your forehead right between your eyebrows to connect lightly to your thumb tips. Just lighting a flame here in heart center, inviting in that witness and inward gaze. And all of these moments where we find deep release, moments of surrender and letting go by bowing in and remaining close to the earth floor as if being held and embraced, perhaps cradled, perhaps hugged. Whatever you need in this moment. From here, we're going to transition into a rag doll. So staying at the center of your mat, walk your feet out, shoulder width, maybe even wider. And then grabbing a hold of your elbows and just start to sway side to side. Allow the head to be heavy. Feeling relaxed in the back of the neck, into the base of the skull, behind the ears, into the forehead. Releasing any subtle tension we may be carrying in the face, allowing that to be a cue for the mind to relax. And then from here, stretching forward into a halfway lift. Go ahead and walk your feet out wide. Take a breath in, and I'll come into a wider stance here, stretching your hands forward, come up onto your fingertips, so tenting your hands like down dog arms, ears between the biceps. Just noticing how long you can feel in your spine. If you want to move around a little bit here, you can move around. Again, that water element in the hips, in the spine. And notice where you feel rooted beneath your feet and your fingertips as if reaching into the earth floor, staying rooted. Building our practice from a very grounded, rooted state. Coming through a halfway position and lift. Go ahead and turn now, so you will be facing your right foot into a low lunge. Come onto the ball of your back foot, pausing here. And you can be on fingertips, or if you're using blocks at home, framing your front right foot with your blocks. Lengthen back, lengthen the front leg like a wide pyramid stretch. Lift your toes so you're balancing on your heel and drop in chin to chest. As we come back forward, we're going to ease the back knee down to the mat and reach your arms up overhead through Anjaneyasana, interlacing fingers. Allow your head to fall back and gaze softly up. Eyes can be closed or open. As you remain rooted in that front foot, that felt sensation in your hip space, feeling your breath rise from there. Explore that sensation lifted through heart space, and relax energy in the face, through throat, through forehead center. Eyes are soft and steady. Breath continues to be smooth, rising up. And each exhale, we just bend a little bit more into that front knee and feel the rootedness of earth floor beneath us. Reaching arms out like airplane wings behind you, and then releasing fingertips to frame the front foot, lift your back knee, and again, lengthen your front leg and just fold in here. So you come back forward, walk your hands over to the left, pausing back in your wide-legged forward fold, coming onto fingertips, tenting your hands, dropping your ears between your biceps. Maybe moving around a little bit here. Again, just all this length, as if reaching into the earth through your fingertips, feeling the entire length of your spine. Coming back halfway, walking to face the opposite edge of your mat, so you're facing your left foot, coming into a low lunge, coming up onto fingertips or blocks, and then lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, and fold chin to chest. As you come forward, lowering your back knee down to the mat, reaching arms up overhead through Anjaneyasana, and then interlacing fingers, catch your head in your hands. Follow your breath from the opening in your hips up through heart, through elbows, through forehead. Follow your breath down into the rootedness of your front foot. Again, this exploration as a meditation where we feel rooted. Right, downward flow into earth element, and where we feel spacious and lifted through the air element of our heart and the ether element around us. Reaching arms back like airplane wings, and then down to frame the front foot. Lift your back knee and lengthen, lift the toes. As you come back forward now, once again, wide-legged forward fold, walk your hands over to the right, turn your feet, come up onto your fingertips. Halfway lift. And turning to face your right foot. From here, stepping to the front of your mat, releasing into a fold, Uttanasana, maybe holding onto the legs, or reverse ragdoll arms. From here, rising all the way up into an extended mountain pose and turning to face so that you're mirroring me. Hands interlaced above you like a steeple. Take a full breath here and lift it through the heart as you root down into both feet. And we'll begin by leaning over to the side, getting a nice side stretch, so it's a standing crescent moon. Coming back through center, we'll take a big step out, coming into 5-pointed star, heels in, and your toes are out to like 10 and 2 or 11 and 1, so you feel very balanced through your feet. Taking another breath here, and they're just going to come down through a goddess variation, crossing your hands in front of your chest, your wrists, hands. Opening back up. So this is a variation of moon salutations that I'll add onto as we start to flow, turning into a triangle pose, turning to face your left foot. So left foot is forward as you lean into it, and then bring the left hand down. The right arm keeps you lifted, so you're fully expressed through your hand, and you can gaze wherever's comfortable for your neck. Take another breath. Bring yourself down to frame your front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot. And as we did earlier, lengthen the front leg, lift your toes. From here, lower the back knee, rise, open through the arms. And then releasing hands down, framing the front foot again, lift your back knee and walk your hands over to the right, wide-legged forward fold, pause, stretch into your fingertips, reaching into the earth. We'll begin by reversing that flow to the opposite side. As you come into a halfway lift, turn to face your right foot, coming into a low lunge.
Lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, and drop chin to chest. Coming back forward, lower the back knee, arms rise, Anjaneyasana, full breath in, and then sweep out to the side and then down to frame the front foot. Lift your back knee, lengthen, and tuck in. From here, as we come back forward, we're going to set a triangle pose from here. So your right foot is forward, and then the left arm opens you up into Trikonasana. Bend into your front knee to rise up, 5-pointed star, heels in, toes out, full breath. And then come into this goddess variation, opposite hand in front, creating little mini wings in front of your heart space. As we rise back open, you're gonna step to the opposite edge of your mat, taking a full breath here, lifting through the heart, and then leaning over to the side, coming into this crescent moon shape. And we'll continue coming back through center, lifted through the heart. Big step out, 5-pointed star. And a full breath to the top of your inhale. Coming through goddess, switching hands, bringing hands to cross in front of heart space. Rising back open. Into triangle pose from here, turning to face your right foot, leaning forward, bring the right hand down, the left arm reaching up. Gazing down as you bend into the front knee, coming into a lunge. Left hand comes down, you're on the ball of your back foot, and then lengthen that front leg, lift your toes and balance on your heel. As you come back through center, lower the back knee, arms rise, Anjaneyasana, lifted from the heart, expressed through the hands, sweep through these wide wings space, down to frame the foot, lift your back knee, lengthen the front leg, and chin to chest. Good. So you come back forward, walk your hands over to the side, wide-legged forward fold, dropping your weight into the balls of the feet and then reaching into your fingertips into the earth floor. Halfway lift, inhale, and then turn to face your left foot, come into a lunge to begin. Lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. And as you come back forward, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana, arms rise, again from heart to hands, and then releasing out wide and down to frame the front foot. Lift your back knee and lengthen the left leg, lift the toes, chin to chest. From here, setting up for triangle, turn your back heel down as you lengthen the front leg, and then the right arm opens the body into Trikonasana. Bend into the front knee to lift and rise up, 5-pointed star. Full breath here, and then bring it into this goddess variation, opposite hand, wrists crossed. As we rise back open, stepping to where we started, at the opposite edge of your mat and leaning into it, into this crescent shape, crescent moon. We'll add on, coming back through center, inhale, lift through heart, fingertips, big step out. 5-pointed star, take a breath. And now coming through goddess, we're gonna flow, rising back up. Coming back down, opposite hands, open back up once more, and flow. As we rise back open, setting up triangle pose, turning to face your left foot, lean forward, come down, and lifted through your right arm. From here, balancing half moon, you can catch your hip if that's helpful to start, lifting up, staying connected to the hip or reaching the right arm up. Option to stay there or grab a hold of the foot for a half bow. From bouncing half moon open, coming down through a standing split as you gaze at the back of the mat, land into your lunge. And lengthen your left leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. Coming back forward, lower the back knee, rise with breath to the top of your inhale. And then as your exhale brings us down into the earth. Again, lift your back knee, straighten your leg, and fold in. Coming back forward, hands walk over to the right, wide-legged forward fold, dropping weight into the balls of the feet, and reach your fingertips into the earth. Halfway lift, turn to face your right foot, starting in your lunge. Lengthen the front leg, toes lift, chin to chest. Come back forward, lower the back knee and rise, Anjaneyasana. As we come back forward, standing splits into balancing half moon. Left arm lifts, staying here. Option to bend the knee and grab a hold of your foot for a half dancer, half bow. Opening back up through Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. From here, bringing the hands down, gazing back, landing to set up your triangle pose. So lengthening the front leg as the back heel comes down, staying rooted in the feet. And the left arm opens the body into Trikonasana. Bending into the front knee to rise open, 5-pointed star, full breath in. And we flow, coming through the skala variation, crossing at the wrist, hands in front of heart space, open the body, inhale. Opposite hand in front, exhale, bring it close to the earth, open the body to the top of your inhale, rise. And one more time with this flow. As we come back up through 5-pointed star, we'll step to the opposite edge of the mat, interlace fingers like a steeple above you, and leaning over to the side, crescent moon. Back through center, big step out. Once again, we come back, 5-pointed star, inhale, bring it back through your goddess, flow, rise, open, and flow. Once more, to the top of your inhale, grow tall and spacious, and bring it low. Maybe lift the heels, setting up for our triangle pose now, turning to face your right foot, lean into it. As the right hand comes down, left arm lifts. And from here, balancing half moon, beginning through standing splits, float the back leg. You can hold on to your hip, or again, reach that left arm up. Option to catch your foot for a half bow pose. Opening back up, coming through standing splits, landing into your lunge, and lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. As you come back forward, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana, rise open from heart to hands, and release, hands down, lifting your back knee, walk your hands over to the inside of your front foot, and then continue into wide-legged forward fold, reaching your fingertips into the earth. Breathe. Reversing that flow, turning to face your left foot, starting in a low lunge, lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. So come back into the lunge, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana, rise with breath. Air and ether, rooted into the earth. Fingertips release back down. Again, lifting your back knee, starting with balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, holding onto hip, reaching towards the ceiling, or grabbing a hold of your foot for your half bow variation. Opening back up through balancing half moon. As you bring your hands down, gazing down to set up triangle pose, safely land the back foot, turn the back heel, lengthen the front leg, and Trikonasana. Okay? The right arm just opens the body. Bend into the front knee, opening into 5-pointed star, and flow into goddess with hands crossed. Rise open. And opposite hand in front, cross the wrists. Maybe lift the heels, lower and rise. One more time with this flow. Rising open, stepping to the opposite edge of your mat, interlacing fingers. One more round with variations, beginning with crescent moon, standing crescent moon, lean into it. As you come back through center, big step out, 5-pointed star. From here, bring it into our goddess flow, and then sweeping arms open, lifting opposite foot. So we come back through center, opposite side, stretch the arms out as you lift the opposite foot, again through center, open the arms, lift the foot that you're facing back through center, and once more to the other side. As we come back through center, opening through 5-pointed star, triangle pose, turning to face your left foot. Allowing the right arm to open the chest, fully expressed through the hand. Hands come down, balancing half moon. Lift the back foot. Your variation here, option for half bow. And then releasing, hands come down, gazing at the back of your mat, landing into a lunge and lengthening your front leg, lift your left toes, drop chin to chest. And as you come back into the lunge, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana, rise as you fill the lungs and express the hands, and then sweep those hands back down into the earth. Lift your back knee, walk your hands over to the side, wide-legged forward fold, reach into the earth and pause, center. Coming halfway lift, turn to face your right foot, coming into your lunge, and lengthen your front leg, lift your toes. So you come back forward, lower the back knee, Anjaneyasana, arms rise, fill your lungs. As we release down again, lift your back knee and lengthen. Balancing half moon from here, Ardha Chandrasana, choosing your variation. And then bring both hands down as you gaze at the back of the mat, triangle pose, land the back foot, turn the heel, and the left arm opens into Trikonasana. From here, bend your front knee, rise open, 5-pointed star, take a breath, and we'll flow, beginning first with our goddess variation, and then stretching open in the arms, lifting the toes of the foot you're facing, come back through center, option to lift the heels, stretch the arms open, back through center, one more time to each side, it's just your version of this, as long as we're breathing, keeping the energy fluid. Good. Coming back through center, opening up through 5-pointed star, turning to face triangle, facing your left foot, Trikonasana. Bring it down. From here, balancing half moon, floating the right leg up, choosing your variation of Ardha Chandrasana. Open the body, gazing down, and then landing the foot. So you're in a low lunge, lengthen the front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. Come back through center, walk your hands over to the side, reach into the earth, wide-legged forward fold. Turn to face your right foot, starting with your low lunge, lengthen the front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. Come back forward, lower the back knee, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Hands come down, balancing half moon, float the back leg, open into Ardha Chandrasana. Again, your variation here. From here, hands come down, gazing back for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Lengthen and the left arm opens the body. Bend into that front knee, come through 5-pointed star and flow through goddess. Stretch the arms open, back through center. Stretch the arms, lengthen, opposite leg. One more time to each side. Breathe. Just keep it fluid. So come back through center, opening through 5-pointed star, stepping to the opposite edge of your mat, interlacing fingers and leaning into a crescent moon shape. Coming back through center, big step out as we complete the cycle with our final half of moon salutation variations. Bring it down through goddess. Stretch, open arms and opposite leg back through center. Take it to the opposite side. Another option here would be a side angle to each side. One more time. Come through center and stretch open. As you come through center, 5-pointed star, triangle pose, turning to face your right foot. Another breath here, balancing half moon. Again, choosing your variation. Opening the body, bring both hands down, gaze back, low lunge, and lengthen your front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. As you come back through center, walk your hands over, pausing in your wide-legged forward fold, reach your fingertips into the earth, ground yourself here and now. Coming halfway, turn to face your left foot through your low lunge and lengthen the front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. Balancing half moon, last time, Ardha Chandrasana on this side, right? Floating that right leg, choosing your variation. As you bring both hands down, landing your back foot for triangle pose, pivot the back heel down. The right arm opens the body. Bend into your front knee to rise open. 5-pointed star, and then flow through goddess. Open the arms, stretch open, lengthen the front leg, come back through center. Go to the other side or side angle to each side. One more time with this flow. Inhale as you open. Exhale, bring it in, opening to 5-pointed star. Triangle pose, turning to face your right foot. And then last time on this side, balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, open. Bring it down. So you gaze at the back of the mat, land your back foot, straighten your front leg, lift your toes, chin to chest. Coming back through center, lower your back knee, Anjaneyasana. Come back through center, lift, walk your hands over. Wide-legged forward fold, hold it here, bring it in, slow it down. As we come halfway, turn your heels in, bend your knees so you're from a squat, rise open. And step to where it all started, at the top edge of your mat. One last time, we just lean over into a crescent moon shape. Come back through center, bring your hands to your heart. And just bow in, witness, feel. Return to both feet, anchored and rooted into earth element. Notice the energy, right? The fire element after flowing through several rounds and variations of moon salutation. The air element of the heart, the water element of fluidity, the ether is the intuitive eye. And we just arrive back to a standing mountain pose. For a transition, let's just come back open through 5-pointed star, grab a hold of your hips, and then turn your feet in, heels out. Slowly bring it down. Prasarita Padottanasana, forward fold. Let's just hold here wherever you want to place your hands, whether in front of you or walk them behind you. Or if you'd like to interlace fingers and stretch your hands up and overhead. Another option or variation is hooking your peace fingers around your big toes, bending your elbows out. Or if you have, like a tripod headstand, if you're feeling pretty energetic and want to come into an inversion. If you grab a hold of your peace fingers, maybe roll out those shoulders. Again, just rolling movement to release tension right between the shoulder blades. Keep it still or gently sway side to side. As we'll now slow down the practice and come into half pigeon pose. Turn to face your right foot. Slowly walk your right foot over and ease down the back knee and the front knee. If there are any alternative postures that just feel better in your body, you can roll to your back for a reclined butterfly or a figure 4 stretch. Staying upright just to begin, just feeling rooted, all the points of connection of your physical into earth. And then bring awareness to heart, to air space. Leading with the heart as you bring it now into a place of rest and surrender. All the way down, any version here. If you want to bring thumb tips between the eyebrows or fold your hands or grab a block or a cushion for under your forehead. Just tuning into the shift here of moving into a place of stillness. Allow your breath to be present, for it to be slow and continuous. Closing the eyes. And just be a witness. Notice the experience, where you feel a little bit lighter and more spacious, where your breath feels present. And as we rise up, just taking it slow, just come onto your seat. Just kind of turn so that you're facing me, keeping your right foot tucked in, left foot at a wide angle. And we'll start with Stargazer. So you'll lift your right arm up and then swing it behind you like a kickstand. And then your left arm is going to sweep up, lift up onto your knee and allow the body to open, almost like a version of like Wild Thing. Again, staying spacious, breathe into this shape. And then easing down, coming into butterfly between sides. Holding on wherever you feel secure. We intentionally come and pause in our Baddha Konasana butterfly to really connect with the physical by simply like holding on to ourselves. And then we contain, right, this grounded energy of earth element through bandha, our energetic lock, making a fist in your low belly, draw back and hold. Option to also lift the pelvic floor, keeping the spine long and the face relaxed. I am grounded. I am supported. Feeling the radiance of your physical health and presence. And your breath, each inhale, rising energy through heart space. Downward energy back into the earth floor. And we'll come into our half pigeon toes on the other side, however you want to get there. If you want to start in the lunge, just bring yourself into a lunge with your left foot facing forward. And then just slide it over, sliding your left foot over, both knees gently come down. Again, any alternative posture on your back. Staying upright just to begin, just noticing kind of the openness of the hips, like the energetic lines, especially through like the back leg. And then from heart, airspace, air element. From there, we release down to a place of mindful surrender. Feeling the presence of the closeness of the earth, allowing her to welcome you, to embrace you, to ground you, especially when things feel shaky. We turn to our practice to come back first to earth element, to physical, to breath, to body, heart, spacious mind. Feeling layer upon layer of release of tension, release of heaviness, physical, emotional, energetic, so that we can create more lightness, spaciousness, for our breath to flow, for our intuitive eye to gaze into an open, spacious, compassionate heart. One more breath. And start to ease out and take your time. Turning on your seat so that you're facing me. Left foot in, right leg at a long angle. Starting with our stargazer, sweeping your left arm up and back like a kickstand. And then the right arm opens the body as you lift up onto your left knee. And releasing down, again with ease. Once more, we come back with intention. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And connect to yourself by holding on. Option to invite in that container of grounding energy that we draw in through physical and we draw up from there. By drawing back through the low belly, like creating a fist or like a zipper. Option to lift the pelvic floor. And we just come back to that visualization of a pole, a centralized pole, and the up and down energy, which is also subtle energy flow. We follow this with our breath, closing the eyes or finding a soft gaze down. Each inhale, again from the pit of the belly, feeling that rising up through heart space, air element, through forehead center and crown of head, ether element. Feeling the breath back down between the shoulder blades, down through the solar plexus fire, down into the earth. And then before we come into our closing Shavasana or legs at the wall, let's come back where we started, just to a cross-legged seat. Reach your fingertips down beside you, as if reaching into the earth. And just a brief visualization on the 5 elements, which are symbolic of the 5 core ways in which we express and realize ourselves authentically. For when we are aligned and authentic and feeling purposeful in these 5 areas, we in turn serve others and are in alignment with a movement to create good and to connect and to plant seeds of peace within our own hearts and the hearts of others. The earth element is our physical. Just the intention here, the power of the intention of a felt sense of balance and vibrant health in our physical bodies, our physical worlds, our homes, our communities, the food that nourishes us, our financial health. The element of water is where we express and realize, where we are on purpose with our creativity and our joy. And our emotional waters, the ebb and flow, riding the waves that are sometimes peaceful and sometimes choppy, The intention here of feeling a real sense of tranquility, returning to a very calm and tranquil place within in this moment. From there, fire element, what fuels us, the actions we take day to day to be on purpose. Air element is our heart space, our seat of love and compassion, our relationships, our family, our friends, our neighbors, how we serve others and serve ourselves, self-love, self-care, compassion to self, compassion to others. All the things we do towards a movement of creating good, planting seeds of peace in our hearts and the hearts of others. From air, we rise to ether through our intuitive eye, forehead space, crown of head. This is connection beyond physical, beyond ego, beyond self, connection to source, to wonder. Connection to universe, those times and spaces when we feel the vast, infinite space and potential of this precious life. When we return to the wisdom within, the knowing that is already there, when we are aligned in these 5 elements and the ways in which we are on purpose, self-realized, and in essence in service to others. From here, we'll make our way into either Shavasana or legs up the wall, lying down, supporting yourself, taking your time to set up your final relaxation. Feeling rooted through the back body, effortless, being drawn in and embraced and received. Scanning sort of the front body, spaciousness, lightness, feeling the space above your palms, above your heart space, above your forehead center space, and an energetic exchange of harmonious balance. And just lightness from each of these points permeating every cell, every fiber of your being, effortlessly receiving. And this is where I shall leave you, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are listening along, there's about 10 more minutes, and I encourage you to stay in an extended relaxation, or maybe you want to come up into a seated meditation and just bring some intention back into some of the themes that we explored in this full moon, this blue moon practice, where we found release, where we feel light, spacious, where we just feel the presence of our breath. A connection to deep center, back to baseline, both feet on the earth. Every action from there, from a stable foundation. Be well. I hope to see you in one of our upcoming live classes.